Do your legs ever feel swollen, heavy, or tight, even before the day really begins? You might assume it's due to aging, poor circulation, or maybe sleeping in the wrong position. But what if the real problem starts not at night, but at breakfast? For many seniors, morning leg swelling isn't just a coincidence. It's a direct result of what they're putting on their plates first thing in the morning. From salty meats to refined carbs and sneaky fats, certain common breakfast foods can trigger fluid retention, increase inflammation, and quietly make leg swelling worse with each passing day. You might think you're starting your morning right with toast and bacon or a quick drive-through sandwich, but those foods may be loading your body with sodium and processed ingredients that interfere with your blood flow, weaken your veins, and cause fluid to build up, especially in the lower legs, ankles, and feet. And once swelling begins, it doesn't just make your legs look or feel uncomfortable. It affects your balance, your energy, and your overall ability to move freely and safely. The good news is that once you understand what's happening, you can take back control without giving up breakfast entirely. In this video, we'll reveal the worst breakfast foods for leg swelling and explain the science behind why they're so harmful for seniors. We'll also share smart, senior-friendly swaps that are easy to prepare and actually support better circulation and leg comfort throughout the day. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1. Bacon and processed meats. Salt bombs for your blood vessels. James, a 72-year-old retired truck driver, had a morning routine he rarely changed. Every day he fried up 2 slices of bacon, scrambled some eggs, and enjoyed his breakfast while reading the morning paper. It was his comfort zone, a taste of tradition, and something that made mornings feel normal. But over the past year, James began noticing something he couldn't ignore. His ankles were swollen almost every day by noon. His socks left deep marks, and some days his shoes felt tight even though he hadn't gained weight. His doctor checked his heart and circulation, and while nothing serious came up immediately, one piece of advice surprised him the most. Watch your sodium, especially from breakfast meats. Bacon, sausage, ham, and other processed meats are some of the highest sodium foods older adults regularly eat, especially in the morning. These meats are often preserved or flavored with sodium nitrite and other salty compounds that taste delicious, but flood the body with salt. And as we age, our kidneys become less efficient at removing excess sodium. The result? Water retention. And where does that water settle first? For most people, the legs, ankles, and feet, because of gravity and slower circulation in the lower limbs. Sodium pulls water into your bloodstream. That increases blood volume and puts pressure on your veins and capillaries. Over time, fluid begins to leak out into the soft tissues of the legs, causing them to swell. This is especially problematic for seniors who are sedentary for long periods, like sitting during breakfast, reading, or watching TV, because movement helps pump fluid back up toward the heart. Without enough movement and too much salt, the legs become a storage tank for excess fluid. And while one breakfast won't make a difference, daily habits, like James's, can lead to chronic swelling, discomfort, and even dangerous complications like skin breakdown or poor circulation in the feet. Worse, many people combine bacon with other high-sodium foods like toast with butter, cheese, or processed spreads, creating a salt overload before the day even begins. When James realized how much sodium he was consuming, often over 800 milligrams from bacon alone, he decided to make a change. He didn't quit breakfast, he rethought it. He switched to poached eggs with avocado slices, added some spinach sautéed with olive oil, and replaced his bacon with a few nuts or a piece of fruit. Within 2 weeks, the swelling in his ankles reduced dramatically. "I still miss the crunch of bacon sometimes," he admitted, "but I don't miss the feeling of tight shoes and heavy legs." The lesson here is simple. Bacon may taste good, but it's hard on your legs. And for older adults, those swollen ankles are more than a cosmetic issue. They're a sign your body is struggling to stay balanced. So what's on your plate in the morning? Is it helping your legs feel lighter or loading them down before your day even begins? In the next section, we'll take a closer look at another common breakfast culprit, white bread, and why this soft and simple staple might be quietly inflaming your joints and making leg swelling worse. Number 2, white bread, empty carbs that fuel inflammation. Linda, 68, had a quiet morning ritual she loved. A slice of toasted white bread with a little margarine paired with a cup of tea. It reminded her of simpler times and gave her a soft, comforting start to the day. But for months she had been dealing with aching, swollen feet and knees that felt stiff before she even got dressed. Her doctor tested for arthritis, circulation issues, even fluid imbalance, but nothing stood out. Then one dietitian asked her a simple question: how often do you eat refined carbs like white bread? Like many older adults, Linda never thought bread, especially plain white toast, could be a problem. It felt harmless. But white bread is a highly processed food made from refined flour, stripped of natural fiber and nutrients. When eaten, it quickly breaks down into sugar in the bloodstream. This spike in blood sugar may be brief, but the inflammation it triggers can last much longer, especially in joints, muscles, and soft tissues like those in the legs. When blood sugar rises rapidly, your body responds by releasing insulin, which helps move that sugar into your cells. But insulin also sends a signal to retain sodium and store water, two things that contribute to swelling. On top of that, blood sugar spikes promote the production of pro-inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. These travel through your bloodstream, inflaming vulnerable areas, and for many seniors, that means the legs, knees, and ankles. Over time, a daily dose of white toast can become fuel for chronic low-grade inflammation. This makes leg tissue more swollen, joints more tender, and muscles less flexible. It's like adding pressure to an already aging system, and doing it first thing in the morning when your body should be preparing for movement, not inflammation. Linda was surprised to learn that even light white bread options, like low-calorie or sandwich thins, still had the same effect. It's not just about calories, her dietitian told her. It's about how your body reacts to what's inside. That was when Linda started making changes. She swapped her white bread for a small bowl of steel-cut oats, topped with a handful of berries and chia seeds. She also added a boiled egg for protein, and noticed that not only did she stay full longer, her feet didn't feel as puffy by lunchtime. These simple changes helped reduce her blood sugar spikes, control fluid retention, and ease morning stiffness in her legs. Most importantly, it made her feel like she was doing something active for her health, starting with the very first bite of her day. So the next time you reach for that familiar white slice, ask yourself, is this food giving my body what it needs to move better, or making it harder to even get up and go? In the next section, we'll talk about something that often sits right beside the toast: margarine. It may seem like a lighter, healthier spread, but it hides something far more harmful for your legs than most people realize. Number 3, margarine and butter-like spreads. Hidden trans fats. Each morning, he toasted a slice of bread and spread a generous layer of margarine over it, a habit he picked up decades ago when margarine was marketed as the heart-healthy alternative to butter. It spread easily, lasted long in the fridge, and felt lighter. But despite his best intentions, Walter had been waking up with tightness in his knees, swelling in his lower legs, and a general sense of heaviness that wouldn't go away. At first, he thought it was arthritis or fluid retention from sitting too much. But during a nutrition class at his local senior center, a speaker said something that changed everything. Watch out for trans fats hiding in your spreads. They could be hurting your legs. What Walter didn't know was that many margarine products, especially the older or cheaper ones, still contain partially hydrogenated oils, a source of trans fats. Even small amounts of these fats can have powerful effects on the body, particularly in the blood vessels and soft tissues. Trans fats are known to increase bad cholesterol, LDL, lower good cholesterol, HDL, and, most importantly for seniors, promote systemic inflammation, especially in the lower body. Here's how it affects your legs. Trans fats stiffen the walls of your blood vessels, making it harder for blood and fluid to move efficiently through your legs and back to your heart. This slows circulation and encourages fluid pooling, particularly around the ankles and calves. When combined with other inflammatory foods like white bread or bacon, the problem compounds. You don't just feel sluggish. Your legs literally begin to hold on to inflammation, making them feel puffy, tight, and tender. Walter realized that while his margarine was labeled light and cholesterol-free, it was still hiding harmful ingredients that his aging body couldn't process like it used to. After doing some research and talking with his doctor, he made a shift. Instead of margarine, he began spreading a small amount of mashed avocado or olive oil-based spread on his toast. Not only did the swelling in his legs improve, but he also noticed his morning stiffness eased up, and his walking felt more comfortable. These natural fats, like those found in avocados, olives, nuts, and seeds, are anti-inflammatory. They help improve circulation, reduce joint pain, and support muscle recovery. They don't just taste better. They give your legs the nutrients they need to feel better. The lesson? Just because a food is spreadable doesn't mean it's healthy. And labels like light, smart, or low cholesterol don't always tell the full story. For older adults, even a small amount of the wrong fat can build up over time, especially when consumed daily. So next time you reach for that tub of margarine, take a moment to check the ingredients. Is it filled with artificial oils your body can't use, or with real nourishment your legs will thank you for? Coming up next, we'll look at one of the biggest hidden sources of sodium, sugar, and preservatives in a senior's breakfast, the grab-and-go breakfast sandwich. It's convenient, yes, but it could be setting you up for a day full of swelling and fatigue. Number 4, store-bought breakfast sandwiches. A swelling disaster in one wrapper. Carol, 75, had a routine that made her mornings easy. On her way back from her morning walk, she'd stop by a drive-thru and grab her favorite breakfast sandwich: egg, cheese, and sausage on an English muffin. It was warm, quick, and comforting. On busier days, she'd microwave a frozen breakfast sandwich at home. It was convenient and required no cleanup. But over the past year, she started feeling unusually sluggish. Her ankles were swollen by mid-morning. Her knees ached when she stood. And sometimes she felt like her legs were too heavy to lift properly. She thought she was just slowing down with age, until her doctor mentioned something she'd never considered. Let's take a look at what's in your breakfast sandwich. What they found was eye-opening. The average store-bought or fast food breakfast sandwich contains over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, plus refined carbs, saturated fats, and chemical preservatives. For older adults, this is a dangerous combination, especially first thing in the morning. The high sodium content alone can trigger fluid retention, as your body tries to dilute the salt by holding onto water. And since the lower legs are the furthest point from the heart, they're the most common place for fluid to settle. But the damage doesn't stop with salt. These sandwiches are often made with white bread or processed muffins, which spike blood sugar and increase inflammation. Just like we discussed earlier. The sausage or ham is typically loaded with preservatives like sodium nitrate, which irritate blood vessels and make it harder for fluid to move properly. And the cheese is often highly processed, containing artificial binders and thickeners that are hard on digestion and circulation. In short, these breakfast sandwiches are a perfect storm of swelling: salt that holds water, fats that clog circulation, and carbs that inflame tissues. It's no wonder so many seniors who rely on them regularly experience puffiness in the legs, tight shoes by noon, or a general feeling of heaviness that slows them down all day. For Carol, this was a turning point. With the help of her daughter, she began preparing simple homemade breakfasts that took just a few minutes: scrambled eggs with spinach, whole grain toast with avocado, or a bowl of oatmeal topped with blueberries and almonds. After just 1 week, she noticed a major difference. The swelling in her ankles was less noticeable, her knees felt looser, and she didn't feel as tired by late morning. "I didn't realize how much those sandwiches were weighing me down." Literally, she said. The takeaway here is clear. Convenience often comes at a cost. And when it comes to your legs, that cost can be swelling, stiffness, and pain that you could easily avoid with just a few smarter choices. So before you unwrap that frozen sandwich or pull into the drive-thru, ask yourself, is this food making my day easier or making my legs suffer for the rest of it? In the next section, we'll turn the page to hope and healing. with simple anti-inflammatory breakfast ideas that support your legs, reduce swelling, and set you up for a lighter, more energized day. Number 5. What to eat instead. Gentle anti-inflammatory breakfast ideas. Tom and Susan, a retired couple in their early 70s, had been dealing with the same issue for years: swollen legs by mid-morning, especially after breakfast. Tom often blamed it on too much sitting, while Susan thought it was just something that came with age. But after a routine doctor's visit and a conversation with their nutritionist, they realized that their daily breakfast, sausage patties, toast with margarine, and orange juice, was silently setting them up for discomfort all day long. Instead of starting the day with nourishment, they were unknowingly eating foods that triggered inflammation, spiked sodium levels, and made their legs retain fluid. Determined to feel better, they made a decision to try breakfast differently for 1 week, just 7 days. They chose meals that were gentle on the body, low in sodium, high in nutrients, and rich in anti-inflammatory ingredients. And the results amazed them both. One of their favorite swaps was oatmeal made from steel-cut oats, topped with blueberries and chia seeds. Oats are rich in fiber and naturally support heart health and digestion, while blueberries are packed with antioxidants that help reduce inflammation in blood vessels and tissues. Chia seeds, though small, are a powerhouse of magnesium and omega-3s, which support muscle relaxation and help reduce fluid retention. They also began making simple vegetable omelets using spinach, bell peppers, and a sprinkle of turmeric, a natural anti-inflammatory spice. Paired with a slice of whole grain toast and a few slices of avocado, these meals kept them full, energized, and most importantly, their legs didn't feel nearly as swollen or heavy afterward. On warmer mornings, Susan enjoyed plain Greek yogurt with a handful of walnuts and strawberries. This combination offered protein, calcium, potassium, and healthy fats, all of which support circulation and muscle health. Tom found comfort in a warm cup of ginger or chamomile tea instead of his usual sugary juice. Herbal teas not only hydrate, but also help reduce inflammation and gently stimulate digestion. The couple didn't feel deprived. In fact, they felt empowered. Within just a few days, Susan noticed her shoes fit better, and her socks no longer left deep marks. Tom found his legs didn't feel as stiff after sitting, and he could walk longer without discomfort. "I used to think food was just fuel," he said. "Now I realize food is medicine, especially for our legs." The key is balance. You don't have to give up every comfort food or start a complicated diet, but by choosing breakfasts that support circulation, reduce sodium, and provide real nourishment, you set your body up for success, not swelling. So as you plan your next breakfast, ask yourself, is this meal helping me feel lighter, stronger, and more mobile? Or is it setting me up for discomfort and heaviness all day? Number 6, why your first meal sets the tone for your legs. All day. Evelyn, 80 years old and proud of her independence, always believed that starting the day with a hearty breakfast was the key to keeping her energy up. For decades, that meant toast with butter, a few slices of bacon, and a glass of store-bought orange juice. But over time, her legs began to feel heavier. She noticed her ankles swelling before lunch and often had to loosen her shoes by midday. At first, she thought it was just age catching up with her, until a simple change in breakfast transformed everything. She had heard from a friend at her senior yoga class that certain breakfast foods could cause fluid buildup, inflammation, and stiffness, especially in older adults. Evelyn decided to try switching things up for 1 week, just to see. She replaced her bacon with scrambled eggs and spinach, her toast and margarine with half an avocado on whole grain bread, and her juice with warm lemon water. By the third morning, her legs felt lighter, her shoes fit more comfortably, and she didn't feel that dragging weight in her calves anymore. That's when she realized what you eat first sets the tone for everything that follows. When you start your day with high sodium, processed, or sugar-heavy foods, your body shifts into defense mode. Your blood vessels contract, your tissues retain water, inflammation quietly builds. And because your circulation naturally slows overnight, breakfast becomes the first opportunity to either relieve that pressure or make it worse. Your legs, already working hard to support your movements, begin the day weighed down by choices made before you even take your first steps. On the other hand, when your first meal includes potassium-rich foods like bananas, spinach, or yogurt, fiber from oats or berries, and healthy fats from nuts or avocados, your body responds with ease. Blood flow improves, muscles relax, inflammation goes down. You feel steadier on your feet, more flexible in your joints, and more ready to enjoy the day ahead. This doesn't require complicated recipes or fancy ingredients. It just means being aware, choosing real foods over processed ones, watching the salt, adding color to your plate, drinking more water than sugar, and listening to your body, especially your legs, when they whisper, "We're holding too much." Evelyn didn't give up breakfast. She simply gave her body a better beginning. And for the first time in years, her mornings felt like a fresh start, not a slow climb out of stiffness and swelling. So now ask yourself, what message is your breakfast sending your body each day? Is it adding weight and water to your legs, or offering support and strength to carry you forward? In the final part of this video, we'll bring everything together and remind ourselves why the very first choices you make, even before you leave the table, can shape how freely and confidently you move through life. So what we've learned today is simple but powerful. The foods you eat first thing in the morning don't just affect your energy. They shape the way your legs feel, move, and function for the rest of the day. Bacon, white bread, margarine, and processed breakfast sandwiches might seem harmless, even traditional, but for aging legs, they can quietly cause swelling, stiffness, and fluid buildup that makes walking harder and standing more uncomfortable. The good news is that it doesn't take a complete lifestyle overhaul to feel better. Just a few small swaps, from processed to whole, from salty to nourishing, can dramatically reduce leg swelling, improve circulation, and help you start the day feeling lighter and more capable. Foods like oats, berries, eggs, leafy greens, and healthy fats not only calm inflammation, but also give your body the minerals and hydration it needs to move well and recover faster. Breakfast is more than a habit. It's an opportunity. Every morning is a chance to support your legs, protect your independence, and send your body the message. I want to feel strong today. Because the truth is, the strength in your legs isn't just physical, it's symbolic. It represents your freedom, your confidence, and your ability to keep living life on your terms. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it helped you or made you think about breakfast a little differently, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We're here to support your journey to healthier aging, one small but powerful step at a time. Your legs carry you through life. Let's start each day by giving them the care they deserve. See you in the next video.